Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
1 month after his wife was last seen, Brad Simpson being held responsible for her death and disappearance. Brad Simpson charged with murder just a few hours ago.
This comes 1 month to the day after Simpson reported his wife, Suzanne, missing to Olmos Park police.
Our John Paul Barajas has been with this story from the very beginning, from the search parties near the house to a landfill search miles away in southeast Bexar County.
He has been there at the jail for hours today, tracking Brad Simpson's latest charge. We want to zoom out here, though, JP. Look at the bigger picture as well. James Val Cotter's bond decreased significantly. He's the business associate of Brad Simpson. That happened today, as well as this murder charge. So do we know if that bond reduction is connected to the murder charge at all?
Oh, Steve, Myra, we don't have a clear answer on that, but it'd be hard to imagine that they aren't connected, that they both happen and that they both happen on the same day. I mean, we're talking a massive bond reduction for James Val Cotter. He was charged with tampering with evidence with intent to impair an investigation. Originally, his bond amounts totaled $1 million, $500,000 apiece. Now, $100,000 total, $50,000 apiece. So just a massive bond reduction. We do know Cotter's attorney has been arguing for quite some time that the original bond amount was unconstitutional, but for the exact reason on how or why it got reduced so much today, we're still trying to get that answer. We also know that the new reduced bond comes with bond conditions, and those are that Cotter cannot have any communications or contact with Brad Simpson and cannot possess a firearm, and he must wear a GPS tracking device if he posts bond. That's all according to court records. We do believe that Cotter's attorney is in the process of attempting to bond him out today, but the bonding out process is a lengthy one, so we don't know if it's going to happen sometime soon or sometime well into the evening hours. If it does happen, it'll happen on the other side of this building on the south tower of the Sallyport, just across the street or a block down that way, and we're hoping that we'll be here for that, hopefully get some words. But again, when that exactly happens, we are not sure yet. But the biggest news of the day is that for the first time in over a month in Suzanne's case, we now have a murder suspect, an acknowledgement from authorities that not only do they believe that she is dead, but they believe somebody killed her, that suspect is her husband, Brad Simpson. With his new murder charge, the total amount for him is $5 million. We know he was taken for further questioning by DPS. He was picked up here at the Sallyport by a convoy of unmarked units, DPS units, and at least 2 Olmos Park police units. They took off, sirens on and lights on, around 1:15. About 3:08, we saw them coming back again, sirens and lights on. They went right back into this Sallyport. We do believe he was in that vehicle. We did not get eyes on him because the tinted windows, but everything correlates that that was the time that they took him to a DPS facility to do further questioning. Now, throughout all this, Brad's brother, Suzanne's brother-in-law, Barton Simpson, has also sent us a statement. I'm going to read you part of that right now. He says, "This also helps us to come to terms with the reality that Suzanne is no longer with us, allowing us to begin a difficult grieving process and focus on rebuilding our lives, especially for the sake of the children and our extended family." So lots of pain and hopefully some type of closure for that family now with this new charge. We're also hoping to get an update from the agencies involved in this case. Earlier in the week, we were told that there would be some type of update today. We have heard that maybe sometime after 5. I've reached out to Police Chief Fidel Villegas for the Olmos Park Police Department to see if he has an exact time, but we have not heard back. As soon as we do, we'll bring that to you.
John Paul Barajas live from the Bexar County Jail. Thank you, JP. And with the new charge comes updated bond totals. Like JP said, Brad Simpson's murder charge carries a $2 million bond. That brings his total bond amount up to $5 million on 5 total charges spanning back to the week that police say he killed his wife, Suzanne. Investigators are apparently still looking for her body, though. It is a key piece of evidence in this case.
So we talked to a former FBI agent about Suzanne's disappearance and the investigation into finding her. He told our Daniela Ibarra these cases present a different kind of challenge.
Her name and face have been everywhere. Despite all the attention, law enforcement haven't been able to find Suzanne Simpson. The realtor and mother of 4 last seen at a private club in Alamo Heights on October 6th.
A case like this is really solved because somebody saw something.
Christopher Combs was the face of the FBI San Antonio district for 8 years. He retired in 2022 after 26 years with the agency and has investigated several missing person cases. Combs says investigators have to look through surveillance videos, phone and credit card logs. The search for Suzanne has spanned the county. Olmos Park Police, DPS, Texas Rangers, even San Antonio police cadets have been called to help. An FBI San Antonio spokeswoman says they have not been asked to assist.
In what case would the FBI step in?
Usually that happens when there's a particular technical assistance needed or our laboratory has some advanced capabilities that they may not have.
The suspect in Suzanne's disappearance is her husband, Brad Simpson. He's booked into the Bexar County Jail on several charges, including murder.
The vast majority of missing persons that turn into homicide cases, the subject is someone that is related to the victim.
Olmos Park Police and Simpson's family say Brad has not cooperated.
How do law enforcement officials get someone who doesn't want to cooperate to work with them?
Well, it's hard, but you want to talk to them. And again, it's through cutting deals, small deals, to get them to talk.
Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Now, there's also the question of how this kind of case could be prosecuted without a body. Our Erica Hernandez recently explained that in a story on KSAT.com. You can scan this QR code to see that story here and learn more about that process and what it takes to press these kinds of charges.